come once again to discuss things.
It's just all muscles and stuff. Yeah. Whatever you're doing right now, you're perfectly good. Okay. Because you seem to be having my trouble, let's go ahead and start the episode. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentleman Holiday Month.
Hello?
Yes?
Is everything okay?
You just, you totally fucking killed it, man. You just... I don't even want to record anymore. Just goddamn, that really wind right out of my sails. Welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentleman Holiday Month. I am Sid Part 2. Joining me today is the poor timing Connor Nielsen.
Hello, everybody.
And the laughing at my pain Rasco Jackson.
Hey.
And we are your Geeky Gentlemen here for Holiday Month, the month in which we discuss things of a holiday-like nature and women of questionable reputations. Because, ho ho ho. Yeah. Anyway, this week we will be talking about a brand new film. You can see it in the title. But before we get into what the topic is, I want you, the listener, to know that you can download episodes of Geeky Gentlemen. There's a link in the description. Download this episode. And, Connor, where can they find old episodes of Geeky Gentlemen?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Ian, because you can go to the Sid Part 2 channel and look at a Geeky Gentleman playlist with over 360 episodes of Geeky Gentlemen. And if you want to have an older episode of Geeky Gentlemen added to the audio format, you can just leave a comment on there, and Ian will get back to you when it is added.
Yes, indeed. See, Rasco, he knows how to do your job better than you do.
That's how you do it, Rasco, all right?
Anyway, Connor, what are we discussing today, since you seem to be on the ball?
We're going to be talking about the 2016 comedy sequel, Bad Santa 2, starring Billy Bob Thornton, Christina Hendricks, Tony Cox, and Kathy Bates, as well as the fat kid from the first movie. This is taking place, I think they say, 13 years after the events of the first movie. And
basically real time.
Yeah, it's in real time. It's taking place today, and it is exactly the same movie as the first movie. So, guys, what do you think of Bad Santa 2?
Well, if you're going to define it as exactly the same movie as the first movie, which I would disagree with, I definitely love it if it's the exact same movie as the first movie. But, being the movie it is, I don't love it as much as Bad Santa, but given that that's my favorite holiday movie and the movie I have the most, Christmas memories about, I don't think I possibly could have. How about you, Rasco?
Well, I've never seen Bad Santa.
Oh, did you watch it before this, or no?
No, I've never seen Bad Santa, but now I've seen Bad Santa too.
That's really weird.
Okay. I guess I should say I'm more in Rasco's camp. So, Bad Santa was something that I saw it when it was on TV. I didn't sit down.
Oh, what the fuck did you even bother with?
Well, I mean, it was just on the TV while I'd be walking around. So I saw a lot of it's on HBO, so it's on every 4 hours, and I would see the same scenes and I would see a lot of the same jokes. So I haven't seen Bad Santa, but I'm familiar with that.
So then how are you going to say it's the same movie as the first movie?
They just do all the same jokes.
They do some callback jokes, but it's not all the same jokes. I disagree there. They do some callback jokes. They do the fuck me Santa joke a couple times, but they let it build. They don't just do it the same way they did in the first movie. They do the make you some sandwiches thing, but it's not the same running gag. It's more of a reference to the first movie. There's plenty of callbacks and references, but it's not Austin Powers with the everybody looking up and almost saying penis or boobs joke from 2 and 3. It's like a callback joke that doesn't take up too much time. So no, I completely disagree that it's all the same jokes.
No, okay. Yeah, it has callback jokes and what, but it's still the same shtick, and they don't add anything new to the shtick.
They add the mother.
Well, what I'm trying to say is it's a cynical Christmas movie where they say the F words and they say a bunch of obscenities and, oh my gosh, you don't hear people in Santa suits saying that. Whoa, what? And it's just the same shtick, and they don't add anything to that shtick. It's just the same thing.
No, I mean, it is the exact same, like, concept, but that's the whole point of sequels.
No. Screw that. I'm done with that. I'm done with it. And I'll tell you why.
What?
Okay, here's the thing.
Well, like, hold on. Before you go on this whole rant, let me try to, like, wrap my head around this. A movie sequel can't be the same concept, just updating these characters some years down the road, is what you're trying to tell me.
No. What I'm trying to say is, Bad Santa 2 is a great snapshot of belated comedy sequels that we've been getting. Like Dumb and Dumber 2, Zoolander 2, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, Bad Santa 2, and about 100 others. So
see, like, this is the fucking critic problem, though. That's your own damn fault. Don't put it on this movie, you shithead.
No.
No, it's not my fault. It is not.
I'm gonna think I'm that stupid. Just not try. Okay, here's the thing. You don't blame it on this movie. Okay, it's symptomatic of a bunch of crap. All right.
No. It is not this movie's fault. You go see a bunch of bad movie sequels. That's your fault. Don't blame this movie for being the same thing as a bunch of others. Like, of course it's the same thing as a bunch of others. It's called trends. Don't blame the movie itself for choosing to go to everything.
I'm not blaming this particular movie.
No, you are, though. You're saying it's shit because...
No, I'm not. The thing is, when it comes to other movies, like, I can get frustrated. Okay, the thing is, I see a trend. I'm getting frustrated at the same things from all of these different movies.
Yeah, but that's not this movie's fault.
Yeah, but it's this movie's fault for doing stuff that I don't like, and I can see that the same thing I don't like in other movies. I'm not blaming this movie for coming out like.
Or let me ask you a question. If this come out before all those other movie sequels, would you be blaming it for that kind of thing?
Yes, I would. It has a lack of creativity. There's laziness here. I don't think anybody here actually wants to be here. It looks
Oh no, I completely disagree with that.
Cox looks embarrassed to be in this movie.
Tony Cox looked embarrassed to be in the last movie, and he had a great time doing it.
Billy Bob Thornton isn't even playing a character. Like, there's...
No, he didn't play a character in the first movie.
Oh my God. Here's the thing.
I don't know what your complaint is.
Look, here's the thing. If I'm sitting down and watching a movie, all right, and I feel like nobody here wants to be here. Why should I want to be here? So there's an apathy to the people on screen. There's an apathy for me as the viewer. I'm so apathetic towards this movie because this movie engaged me on no level. It's just...
Okay. Hold on. You know where this conversation started out as?
What's that?
Asking Rasco what he thought of Bad Santa 2. And all we got from him, before Connor had to start ranting, was, I haven't seen Bad Santa 1. So Connor, just cool your jets. We got an hour to do this.
Alright, fine.
Rasco, what did you think of Bad Santa 2?
Alright, I did not want to see this movie at all. I thought that I might end my life mid-viewing, but I didn't hate this movie. To be honest, I didn't hate it.
Okay. Like that, so you're like kind of in the middle between us. I mean, I don't think it's a great movie. I don't think Bad Santa is a great movie. It's meant to just be a cynical-ass Christmas comedy that, it is partially shock value and just, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't expect anyone to ever come up with that. There's a lot of stupidity in it, I'll agree. And if you don't like raunchy humor that's, like, meant to be shocking, yeah, you won't like it. As far as the concept of they're not doing anything new, it's a heartless sequel, I don't know if I can agree with that, because I think the kid that plays Thurman is clearly having so much fun reprising that role. I think Billy Bob Thornton just has played himself since Bad Santa. And Tony Cox is not a great actor anyway, but I think he's having a fun time doing it. Like, tell me you didn't at least chuckle at those end credits images. Just at the sure, holy shit.
I didn't chuckle.
Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be a hell of a review. Rascal, what was your reaction to the Instagram teabags?
It was alright.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of smiled. I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to see the nutsack. It's what I'm glad.
Yeah. You know, you got to see Billy Bob Thornton's nutsack, so...
It was worth
it. But it's not...
You're in an exclusive club with Angelina Jolie and everyone else that went to go see Bad Santa 2. No, and Connor, like, I get that you're upset at, you know, sequels that are basically just this, like, retread of the first movie, sequelitis. It's a thing, it's a trend, I'm not gonna lie. But this is just another movie doing that. So your problem with this movie is that it's another movie doing that, and I don't accept that fucking argument. If you have a problem with that, here's an idea, don't go see every goddamn movie that comes out. Like, that's on you, that's not on the movie.
How is that on me that people are not...
You go see every fucking movie, that's your problem.
Okay, here's the thing, though. People are making this, though. Like, that's their fault for making something that is so devoid of anything creative, though. How is that my fault? I like to see
Because you're the one that goes to see it. If you didn't go see everything, it wouldn't feel as tired as it does to you.
Okay. Let's say I didn't see every single movie. Let's just say I just went to see Dumb and Dumber 2. I just went to see Zoolander 2. I just went to see... That's not an argument that holds up. It's a bad movie. It is not funny. It is just...
Well, who would go see all of these retreaded sequels besides someone who goes to see every single fucking movie?
I'll tell you, these are all based on movies that are late 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. These are all comedies from that. So people who probably were younger and have an attachment to those particular movies are going to go and watch these sequels.
I didn't go see any of those. I only went to go see Bad Santa 2.
But
I was
similar audience, though. You might be an outlier, but
you might be an outlier.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. Yeah, but here's the thing, though. People who like Dumb and Dumber are probably the same people who like Bad Santa. All right?
No, I don't really care for Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my god! But the thing is, like,
no, I mean, like, you can't just make generalizations and assume that they're going to be good arguments. I think no, this is like a thing that I've talked about with people about criticism.
From that particular time, they're popular comedies from that particular time, and now they're making sequels to them, and. But the thing is...
This is just a problem with critique. I do not accept this as a valid critique. If this is, like, I will tell you right now, if this is all you have on this movie, is that it is a lazy retread of the first film, like all these other films, you can just leave the review, man. Like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm just like...
more to say than just that.
Okay, but like I just don't accept that as an argument. That is something like Steve and Rasco and a bunch of other people on the show and I've talked about, the idea that, you know, critics being bogged down by going to see everything. That's an argument that comes from that, and I don't accept it as an argument against the film itself. You could say, yes, factually it is a retread of the film, just like all these other retreads of the film, but that wouldn't bother you as much if you didn't go see every single retread of every single film. Just fundamentally, it would not. It would not bother you if you hadn't seen Dumb and Dumber 2, or My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, or Zoolander 2. It wouldn't bother you. Rasco, did you go see any of those... Rasco, did you go see any of those sequels?
I saw Dumb and Dumber 2. I didn't see Zoolander 2. But okay, I agree that, like, it's obviously a bigger issue if you do see all of those movies. You would have a bigger a more prominent disdain for something like this if you do go to see all of the sequels. But at the same time, I would criticize any movie that just retreads the first one, because for me, retread has a negative connotation. I don't think that a lot of sequels that maybe have similar elements are retreads, though. Like,
but this is a retread.
I haven't seen the first one, so I don't know
True.
if this is a retread.
But what I'm saying, though, is choosing to ignore context is irresponsible from a criticism level.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, it's bizarre to focus all of your problems on that one context, and that seems to be the thing you're most...
My problem. That's not all of my problems.
What, like, if you were to do a pie chart of your problems with this film, how large a section is that it's a troubling trend for you?
Like maybe 15%.
Wow, that's really passionate 15% then. I would have guessed like at least 90.
No.
Well, like, okay. Here's the thing. Even if I were to give you it's a retread, that's why I find that argument a problem. I don't think it's such a retread because they do things to evolve the character that they didn't do in the first movie. And part of that does involve regressing him, but that's consistent with the person that we've seen in that we saw in that film. He didn't do anything in Bad Santa 1, he didn't do anything to change who he was. He just fundamentally, somewhere deep down, is a good person, but drowns himself in alcohol and just does a bunch of shitty things, so his life is complete garbage for it. And so, of course, and they explain that in the opening narration. Yeah, I fell in love and had a girlfriend, but there's only so many times that you can throw up in someone's lap. He didn't change that he was an alcoholic by the end of the first movie, so the circumstances we see in the beginning of this movie are perfectly logically in line with that character. So I would say it's, in some sense, it's a regression of character, but it's a regression that that makes perfect sense from a logical standpoint.
Okay, but following that logical standpoint, if they were to make a Bad Santa 3 and they just regress the character again, I don't see the point of going on these adventures if they have no change to what this character, how they see their position in life. Like, I get that there's an appeal from a character who does not change, and that's melodrama. I get it. There's an appeal from that standpoint. But if we're gonna make a series of things, if that's the trend we're going, like, with this particular character, then I don't understand spending an hour and a half with this guy if he doesn't make me laugh and he doesn't change.
Well, would you say that he doesn't make you laugh because this isn't your style of humor?
No, I really like raunchy comedy, but the thing is, I really like dick and fart jokes when they're disguised as, like, when it's actually at the front. My favorite comedy show is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is really stupid at times, but there's an even-handed critique at political positions and society in there. And
yeah, but that's not what this is trying to be.
I get it, but the thing is, at the same time, they're not clever with the dick and fart jokes. Like,
they're not trying to be clever.
Yeah, but okay, that's the thing though. It's like, I can just go to a middle...
Like, there's some witty dialogue though. Not witty. There's some snappy fucking dialogue. You gotta give it that.
Yeah, okay. There's some snappy dialogue, but the thing is, like, I could just go to a middle school and hear them like I'm gonna twist your nipple till you cry. It's like, okay, then I don't actually have to make a trip to a theater and have to pay money to see a movie. I can just go to a middle school. That's the thing, though, is that the people writing this...
Yeah, but it's not trying to be this complex, intelligent thing. That's not... I can't see that argument, that it's trying to be super witty. I mean, it's called Bad Santa, and the trailers and shit have exactly what you'd expect from a movie with that kind of title. I've only seen this once, and I only saw one trailer for it, so forgive me for quoting the first movie, but in the first movie's trailer, he says, "I'm an eating, drinking, shitting, fucking Santa Claus." What kind of wit and logical and highbrow kind of humor were you expecting from a movie like that, much less its sequel? I don't see that argument, like, oh, it's middle school humor. Yes, it is trying to be middle school humor. If you like raunchy comedy, that's one thing. You don't like this particular brand of raunchy comedy. That's on you.
Okay, here's the thing, though. Here's the way I like to see comedy movies. All right, if I go to a comedy movie and the people who are making the comedy are making jokes that I couldn't have thought of, then they did a good job. Because I'm not creative to come up with those kind of jokes. But if I'm just going there, and I don't understand your argument, though, where, okay, you were trying to be creative, so I'll give you... That's such a low bar, though. I don't get that point of view at all. Like,
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we should give them credit for trying to be creative. I'm giving them credit for doing what they were trying to do.
Yeah, but give them a pass for clearing up fire that's on the ground.
Rasco wants to jump in.
I was just going to say, I think that how I always address this exact argument is I always say that you judge a movie on what it is trying to be, and then you judge how worthy of a goal that is, right? So I say, how for what Bad Santa is, how well does it succeed at that goal? And then how worthy of a goal is that goal? That's how I look.
Okay, Rasco, and on those levels, how well does it succeed at what it's trying to be to you?
Okay.
From what you understand what it's trying to be.
So I've not seen the first movie, so that really affects my perspective on this. So obviously, this movie's not trying too hard. I mean, it's not trying to be... I'm trying to think of... It's not trying to be Little Miss Sunshine. Little Miss Sunshine is a comedy that has a lot of layers and a lot of heart, and this movie's clearly not that.
Mm-hmm.
At the same... So, it's weird, because then, I guess, how well it succeeds at being a raunchy comedy... I don't know. I mean, I wasn't hating the movie while I was watching it. I laughed a few times. I really like that one part where he's like, there's that guy masturbating and that guy watching him masturbate. I like that.
Maybe stay on this side of the room in this quadrant.
So I didn't hate it. I mean, it wasn't like a horrible watching experience for me. So for like a dumb, entertaining Christmas comedy, it's fine. And then it's, it's, I think, maybe better than Four Christmases, Ian. I think you would probably agree.
Oh, certainly, much better than Four Christmases, that pile of garbage.
And
like, it stays, like, even though it gives it a happy ending, and the other film did this too, it still stays pretty fucking cynical and dark. It doesn't, like, try to do that's like Surviving Christmas and Four Christmases did, where it tried to turn, like, a cynical movie into, like, a happy and joyful one by the end. Like, it's still pretty fucking dark, even though it gives Willie a happy ending both times, I think.
Yeah, that was the one thing that, like, changed, I guess, by the end, is that, like, he finally accepted him. It seemed like from this moment on, like, once there's the singing scene, it seems like, okay, from there on out, like, he kind of sees him in a different light, maybe, and is no longer so put off by him because of that little line he had about, like, choosing your family and stuff like that. So he changes a little bit by the end, but, I mean... So then to answer the second part, like, how worthy of a goal is it? I mean, it's not that important. Like, if this movie didn't exist, the world would go on, and I don't think anyone would miss this film. But, you know, it's...
Not every film has to change the world.
Not every film has to change the world. So, I mean, for me, like, I would go ahead and rate this movie right now. I give this movie, like, a 5 out of 10. But,
okay.
Like, a 5 out of 10, like, I watch 5 out of 10s all the time. And I'm just like, okay, that was a movie. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not great. It's going to be a Christmas classic for a certain group of people, but you can say that about just about any Christmas movie. Like, you can say that about fucking Black Christmas, I'm sure. Who the fuck watched the remake of that? It's certainly not going to change lives or anything like that, but for being what it's trying to be, I think that's okay. I'm trying to think of the other movie that did this, where it's like the exact same movie as the first one. Oh, Hangover. And I don't particularly like those movies. First one was alright, second one was kind of dumb. What Hangover... This is kind of doing what Hangover 1 and 2 were. I still haven't seen the third. So Hangover 1 is kind of a surprise hit comedy, and everyone, like, really fell in love with it, and everyone learned all the lines and had a big laugh and everything. Mm-hmm. And then they make the sequel. And the criticism a lot of people throw against that is, oh, it's the exact same movie as the first one. And yes, it is. That's kind of the point, because really the reason they made a sequel is to give the audience that watched the shit out of the first movie to where they could quote every line the exact same experience again, but with new lines to quote. That is exactly what the Hangover 1 and 2 were. This isn't so much that, but it's definitely in the same ballpark, where it's really just trying to give people that love the first movie the chance to experience these characters again, evolve it, give them new things to quote and talk about, but it's got a new enough story that I think it's important. It's not the love story. It's not the, like, okay, first movie, there's a love story element, there's a fatherly element. There's still a romantic interest in this, but she's so not important to the plot at all. There's still the fatherly element, but Thurman is in, like, at least a third less of the movie than he was in the last one. So, like, there are very big structural differences, and I think the biggest thing that separates this and doesn't make it a complete 100% retread of the plot of the first movie is the presence of the mother, which is a really big fucking deal. I'll just leave that point out there.
Drop the mic.
Okay.
No, I'm just throwing it out there if anyone would like to pick up from that point.
And I haven't seen
on.
the first, so I can't really comment on that specific statement.
All right, well, what do you think of the relationship with the mother?
So it's tough because by the end, it's one of those things where it's like sometimes when you do like the big total 180, it can feel like everything you watched before the 180 was totally pointless. When you're like when you build like a relationship between two characters and then one character actually wasn't invested in the relationship at all, it can feel like everything you watched was just horribly wasted. At the same time, I kind of like that you have this constant thing where he doesn't know which person in the end he needs to trust more. Should he trust the midget? Should he trust his mother? I don't know. And by the end, what I like is, like, they're both criminals. You shouldn't trust either of them. Who you should trust is the guy who wants to be around you because he likes you.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
and I like that element of it.
And so that's why I think that, like, maybe the 180 with her character by the end where she turns total bitch on him and, like, wants to shoot him and kill him almost. Like,
she's exactly what he thought she was from the very beginning.
Yeah, and I think that it actually works for his character. So I don't mind that 180 so much.
Yeah, and I mean, it's consistent with what we're told of her from the beginning before we see how she acts. And she's a criminal, so she knows how to play people. What I like about the way she plays him is she doesn't go overly sappy with it. You know, she coughs and stuff. She does little things to try to gain sympathy, but she always says, "Oh no, I'm fine. Don't worry about me." And and she's still kind of a bitch to him, like we would expect his mother to have been. She's still kind of an awful parent, but like there's this underlying thing of, well, maybe she's changed a little like he did. And then it's just, no, he's the only one with any good in his heart in this whole fucking family, and seeing the way he treats people, that doesn't say very much. And I don't know, like, I think it builds off of the, again, it builds a relationship between Willie and Thurman that is established in the first movie. Like, okay, so in the first movie, he's, you know, mall Santa, and he pretends to be Santa to go hide out and live in Thurman's house because his mom and dad aren't there. All he has is a senile grandmother, which is, like, one of the most fucked up plot summations I've ever said. So he's living in the kid's house, and towards the end, he yells at him and basically says something to the effect of, "Don't you fucking get it? I'm not goddamn Santa Claus. Do you think Santa would be as fucked up as I am?" And Thurman says, "I know you're not Santa Claus. I was just hoping that we could get each other gifts because we're friends." And so you have this relationship of this, like, kind of father-son kind of friendship built between them, and that they're the only two people who really care about each other, because the woman, Mrs. Santa's sister, in the first movie, is kind of only there because she's, like, got a little bit of a kink attraction to Santa. She's not an evil character, she's an ambiguous character. And then it's no surprise that she leaves. Who sticks around? Thurman for Bad Santa 2. And there is that line. It's a pretty blatantly obvious thematic line. If you don't like the family you have, pick a new one. I don't know. I think that's a theme that works. That is significantly different than the first movie, so it doesn't qualify as a complete retread. I haven't seen Dumb and Dumber 2. I haven't seen Zoolander 2. So I can't comment on how much of those movies are a retread of the plot of the first one. I'll take Rasko's word for it. Or not Rasko, sorry. I'll take Connor's word for it. that being said, I think that this is significantly different in a number of ways, even though it has callbacks and references, and it is conceptually the same thing. An alcoholic asshole is a mall Santa.
Okay, so this is there's something that I've been thinking about for a while now, and what do you guys think about this? So there are movies that have high concepts, like in the realm of Hollywood, Bad Santa would be considered a high concept back when it came out, where it's revolved around a premise, right? It's revolved like Bad Santa's it's a premise, right? Foul-mouthed, crude Santa Claus. Who's actually a criminal trying to do a heist, right? That's the concept. But then out of that concept, people grow attached to certain characters. And then, like, for example, Die Hard was high concept. It's an action movie set in one location, but we all grew to like John McClane.
Really? Okay. I mean, I guess, like, disagree with definition of high concept, but I mean, that's fine.
That's like, if you, like, I have this book called The Screenwriter's Bible. That is what a high concept is. It is anything that is remotely different. It basically qualifies as a high concept.
Okay, that's a really low bar for high concept.
It is. I know.
Low concept.
I know. Like, but the thing is, we have movies that are high concepts that people really like, but people really like the characters in said high concept. So when it becomes successful, a lot of people want to make sequels, but we're in a weird trap where we all like the characters, but the premise was only really good for one movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see like a sequel to something like Bad Santa, where we don't have to put him in a Santa Claus outfit again. We do something else with the character and put him in a different situation.
Terminator 2 is the best high concept. Well, actually, I would say that Aliens and Terminator 2 are probably like two sequels to high concept films that perfectly nail people like the character, so we'll do a new story with the character, and like they still manage to not milk the story in a bad way, but they still manage to get a lot of mileage out of the world and the characters, and it's great.
Yeah. Okay. And well, here's the thing: is like the idea of a mall Santa that is like got a scheme to rob the mall. That is the concept of the original. This one, it's a street vendor Santa who has a scheme to rob the charity he's working for. So it's similar in that respect, but a lot of the jokes and the humor and the drama of the original film took place in the mall with Willie's inability to act like a goddamn rational person around children. And that's where all the jokes and the drama came from. And like Bernie Mac's character got involved as the security guard and did investigation. Now this has a security guard who does investigation. It's not nearly as big a plot point as it was in the first movie. There's like some stuff with him being just really fucking bad at being Santa Claus in public, but it's not nearly the driving force for jokes that it was in the first film. There is like, on the surface, there's a lot of similarities in just describing what the bones of the plot are, but when you actually get into the movie, it's significantly different.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that one.
Yeah.
Like, it's a hard film to talk about without having seen the original.
Okay. Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. Like, and we're talking about comedy, though, and comedy might be the most subjective thing, right? Like, it's a very subjective thing. And I'm done like trying to make huge arguments about why everyone here is wrong. I'm just trying to look at this in a vacuum and whatever. But I guess not in a vacuum. Just trying to, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But whatever.
Like, I'll agree, it's not a great film. Like, if that's what you want, it's not a great film, but I enjoyed it, and you can't take that away from me.
Yeah, I'm not, and I don't want to take that away from you. But
yes, you do. I know what you want, Connor Nielsen. You want to ruin my Christmas joy. You're just a big Grinch.
Yes,
Connor's
that's true.
Bad Santa.
Oh, okay. I hate Christmas. I hate it. That's my kid Grinch from Ron Howard's How the Grinch Stole Christmas imitation. He's climbing the mountain. He's like, I hate Christmas. I hate it.
Don't bring up that movie. Yeah,
that was one of the hardest movies to review ever. Anyway, no, go on with what you were saying. Sorry.
I can't even remember what I was saying.
You're not going to try to prove that we're all wrong and like why we should hate this movie anymore.
All I'm saying is I watched the movie and it just didn't make me laugh. A lot of there'll be points.
Did you watch it with any kind of audience?
I did actually.
Did the audience laugh?
Periodically.
Okay, so
there are moments though where they're walking down the street and they'll just be like very loudly just like talking to each other, but like putting in like racial slurs and like making all these foul jokes. And well, yes, okay, you can. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do, but nobody around them seems to react to that. And I'm not saying somebody should
it's a big city.
I know, but they're there with the bells and they're there like representing a certain place, and they're like children walking around. You know, like it's not like I want like a parent to say, "Hey, how dare you say that?" But to have like a parent kind of give them a quick eye, like, "Are you serious?" Like, and
that could be the directing, though.
I know.
Yeah, that's part of it. I'm trying to think.
It all adds to the piece, and I also think when you go onto the direction, there'll be there's scenes where he's talking to somebody on the other side of a desk, and they'll have shot, reverse shot, and there were scenes in this movie that could have been creatively set up from a directorial level that just doesn't do anything, and that's why I think a lot of this movie feels lazy, because there's not a lot of thought put in to the gags.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'll say that's a problem with a lot of comedies, and it's become really exacerbated as of late because it's just so frequent that comedies are directed with no artistic aesthetic.
But Roscoe, we're not talking about other comedies. We're only talking about this comedy.
Well, no, I'm saying that if a problem is a problem in another movie, it doesn't become a non-problem in this.
Roscoe, if my disliking of other belated comedy sequels isn't valid, then your comedy...
Well, no, what I'm saying is that a problem's a problem, right? If a movie has, like, if a giant gaping plot hole exists in one film and the exact same plot hole exists in another, it's not bad because it exists in both. It's bad because on each individual case it's bad.
Yeah, so like it's a problem that we see across the board, but that's not like the only thing that's wrong with this. It's not a problem because we see it across the board. It's a problem because it's a problem in everything individually. Like if Bad Santa were if Bad Santa were the only comedy, a belated comedy as you called it, belated comedy sequel, thank you. Then it wouldn't be a big deal that it's you're having a problem with it because it's a trend, and I can understand how that'd be annoying if I were a crazy person that went to go see every single movie that comes out. But since I didn't see any of those movies, I don't fucking care that it's a trend. Don't go see those movies, Connor, and it won't be a goddamn trend.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Wait, you mean if you don't spend your money on movies, then Hollywood will quit making them? Because those kinds of movies make money?
Hey now, I don't...
You realize you're contributing to the problem that you're talking about, right?
I don't spend money on movies. I work at a movie theater. I get into all the movies for free.
Oh, really? I didn't know you got into all of them.
Yeah.
Then you can't complain about having to spend money on this movie like you were earlier, you fuck.
I know.
You got in for free.
Oh my god, yeah, I recognize that, alright? That was a faux pas. I apologize.
What else have you been lying about?
Money, honor.
You motherfucker, that pisses me off. You're like, why should I spend money on your movie? Well, you fucking didn't, so you should be happy with whatever you get, you shit.
I'm just saying, like, from a person who watches, like, if I'm just some guy who's going to go watch a comedy sequel, and I feel like, why should I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of just the average viewer who does have to spend money on movies.
Gotcha. No, I get you. It's just funny to me that you made that point, and yet you just outed yourself as being full of shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Funny.
I gotta get to the bathroom as soon as possible because I'm full.
Okay, let me ask you this, Connor, because I'm curious about something.
Yeah.
Was there any joke in this that really did get you and make you laugh?
There are scenes in this movie I did like. I'll say that the singing scene where Thurman is singing, I really like that scene actually, like a lot actually. And And there were times where Thurman would just say stuff that is so off the wall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should watch the first movie then.
That I can't help but chuckle. And I will say, I did chuckle a couple of times because I think that Billy Bob Thornton and Kathy Bates and all these, and not Tony Cox, but those two are just so naturally good at their profession that they're so naturally good at timing that while I didn't think any of the jokes were particularly funny, I did think some of the jokes were well timed. So I got a chuckle out of it because the timing made me chuckle. And that's one of the most important things of comedy is the timing.
Okay. No, and I agree. And that's, like, I said earlier, none of the jokes are, like, witty, but a lot of the, like, it's really snappy lines. And the first movie has a lot of dialogue like that, too. Like, it's actually from a deleted scene, and it's one of my favorite line. I wish it had stayed in the movie. It's when he's leaving the mall in the prologue of the film, and the security guard stops him and is like, hey, you got some pretty baggy pants. You carrying anything? And Billy Bob Thornton just shoots back without missing a beat. Yeah, only something to cripple your sister with. Like, it's got really quick dialogue like that, and this movie has it too. Like, I really love, I can't remember what the setup for it was, but, fucking Tony Cox has that, Marcus, there we go, has the line to, the mother, and he's like, something about, fuck her, or she never fucked a black person, or something like that, and she just shoots back, I am proud to say my pussy is colorblind. That's just a really snappy-ass retort, and it's really fucking funny. I enjoyed that. And I don't think Tony Cox is turning in no performance at all. I really love the way he grits through everything, and he's just so pissed off that he has to deal with these people again. Because you can tell he just hates both of them so much. And it's like, he already hated Willie, and now he has to deal with the female version of Willie who really doesn't give a shit. And that's fucking hilarious. I can't help but laugh at the way he is just dealing with all this bullshit in this movie. Like, when they come in there and they start talking shit about him for not being able to seal the deal with the one security guard, and he just, like, fucking gets behind Billy Bob Thornton and starts strangling his ass. That's really funny to me. That made me laugh almost as much as the nut punching scene in the first Bad Santa.
Another thing I liked about this movie, Christina Hendricks is a very attractive woman, so kudos.
Yeah. I was, like, so ready to, like, hear Cotter complain about, like, there's no way all these women would just throw themselves at Billy Bob Thornton, because I had a retort for that.
Well, no, that's just part of the absurdism of the comedy, and I'm okay with that.
No, but would you just throw that argument at me anyway, so I can have my retort?
I don't get why all these women are just throwing themselves at Billy Bob Thornton.
Well, Angelina Jolie did it, so there must be something about Billy Bob Thornton that none of us men understand. Thank you.
Bravo.
I prepared that in advance. I had it written down. No, like, that's the thing, is, like, it's so fucking unbelievable and just complete bullshit, to the point where it's like, it is goddamn ridiculous. He just starts fucking that security guard in the ass, and she's like, oh my god, I love this. No woman that is not prepared for that shit is gonna be okay with that moment. But it is complete absurdism, and the only reason it's acceptable is because it's Billy Bob Thornton, and his ugly ass somehow ended up with Angelina Jolie in her goddamn prime. So, fuck if I can explain it, but it's you can't say I can't believe it, because it's, you know, fiction is strange, or truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought that was something worth bringing up. Raska, you take us somewhere, please.
I was just gonna say, I think one reason why I may just be more willing to give this movie a chance is because I'm a big fan of two things that this movie has. I love characters that want to kill themselves, and or have an addiction, but I also just...
So this is like double whammy for you.
And I also love just really mean-spirited humor.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny as shit. Like, when they're in the fucking apartment, and he's like, don't ever fucking call me midget again. She's like, we don't speak politically correct in my apartment. Like, that's just really funny to me.
I like when they're talking about, like, they used to call me the tripod, and he's like, well, your nuts hang so close to the floor, that's not that impressive.
Yeah, like, it's only 6 inches. If your legs are 6 inches, it's not very impressive.
Oh, yeah. He's like, if you were 6'5", that would be impressive.
So I like that. See, that was a good line. I also think the part at the beginning where he's hanging himself with a toaster, and then Thurman walks. He goes, "Oh, how did you get up there?" I thought that was funny. That was all right.
Yeah, you should watch the first movie, because there's like this one bit of dialogue I love between Willie and Thurman, and it goes, "What fucking Christ, kid? Did someone drop you on your head when you were a kid? On my head? Yes, on your head. How could someone drop me onto my own head?" And Billy Bob Thornton is like so fucking mad. He just like picks up a plate and throws it across the room. It's like, Jesus fuck, you're fucking with me. And like Thurman just looks at him so innocent. It's so fucking funny.
But there are a couple things I don't really like, and I get that. Like when it comes to the mean-spirited humor, there were moments that I felt like I was supposed to laugh at Thurman because he has some form of autism.
And that is worth discussing, because
because I get that these characters are horrible people, so they would laugh at him for that, and I get that, but I also feel like there are moments where the movie asks me to join in with them, and I don't like that.
Okay, can you give an example?
It's been like 2 weeks since I've seen this movie, so I don't have anything fresh in my head. But there'll be parts where like he's not wearing a jacket, and people are like, "How come you're not wearing a jacket?" He's like, "Oh, I'm cold." Like, don't you know to wear a jacket? Like, well, and like I'm supposed to laugh because, oh, look at that stupid autistic kid. He doesn't know that he's supposed to wear a jacket. Oh, he forgot to.
See, actually, that's not how I took that joke. No. I took that, like, I took the humor in that of Willie being frustrated with having to deal with this.
No, it wasn't. It was before that when he's like getting onto when he first arrived in Chicago and stuff.
Okay, and like that's the thing is, no one points out that he's not wearing a jacket. He just isn't.
Yeah.
And like I think that what I was laughing at more in that scene, like I will admit there was some humor in the fact that he's walking around Chicago without wearing a jacket. But what I was laughing at more in that scene is that he fucking went all the way there.
Yeah, that's part of the absurdism stuff that I do like, and so that's why I'm mixed on that sort of stuff, because I think...
No, it's definitely a question worth bringing up of, like, the ableism at play in here, because, I mean, these are terrible people who don't speak politically correct, so they will not be okay with, like, trying to treat him politely, but I don't know if I like laughed at him for being autistic, retarded, whatever, mentally handicapped. There's the better word. I felt most of the humor came from people just being frustrated with dealing with him, which, I mean, that's relatable to me. Of just that feeling of, God, are you serious? God damn it, I gotta deal with this shit. That's a form of humor I'm okay with.
Okay, and it is a fine line, and it has been a couple of weeks. I just remember watching, and I feel if I had just watched it yesterday, I would have more examples at my disposal. But I think Thurman is probably the best character in the movie. There's something about his unflinching optimism that and it's like he's not even aware of it, and that's what kind of makes it endearing.
Yeah, and there's stuff like that in the first movie too. He's like, he gives him a piece of wood that he's carved, and he's like, "What is it?" It's his Christmas present. He gives him a piece of wood that he's carved, and Willie goes, "What is it?" "It's a wooden pickle." And it's just like, what? What's funny. This? Oh, you painted it brown. No, that's my blood that dried on it from when I cut my hand making it for you. It's just like, so what the fuck was the thought process behind this? But at the same time, there's like a sweetness to it. And shit, Connor left the call. The wooden pickle was too much for him, Rasco. I don't know. Let me ask you this, Rasco, while we're waiting for Connor to come back. Do you think you're going to want to eventually watch Bad Santa now?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay. That, and like I will say, I think the first movie's just naturally better. But I did enjoy this. It's hard for me to talk about them as like in any kind of objective way toward the first movie, because this is a movie that my dad and I watched every Christmas Eve together. So I've got all that emotional and nostalgic baggage with that film. The reason I laugh at the jokes in the first movie isn't so much the funniness of the jokes anymore, it's memories I have of my dad and I laughing at that joke that movie, moments in that movie bring back to me, that I laugh at the laughing, if that makes sense.
No, I totally get that.
Yeah, so that's what I have with that movie. So I can never really go, oh, this is a much better film because of this reason, this reason, this reason. But I certainly enjoyed this. Like, this is, if my dad were still around, we'd have gone and see this.
I get it. And that's the way, like, me and my grandpa, he's the one who introduced me to the movie What About Bob?
Oh, God, I fucking love that movie, too.
I love that movie so much, and I don't think it would be my favorite comedy movie unless that specific person introduced me to that specific movie at that specific time.
Yeah. And again, like, I do think that it's one of those things, it's an adult comedy, but it's not meant for adults. This is something that, you're meant, like, I'm not surprised that this movie is almost out of theaters, even though it only came out, like, 2 weeks ago. This is not something that's meant to have, like, that's popularity is going to be in a big theatrical release. Its popularity is going to be when it hits DVD and, some 14-year-olds get a hold of it and watch it together. That's like the community that's going to get around this movie and people that have seen the first one. It's not meant for like a general audience kind of thing. Like, general audiences can go see it, but if you don't have a raunchy sense or if you can't laugh at raunchy humor, you're probably not going to enjoy it.
And part of this, the reason I really like watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is because if I want to dissect it and see like how it's critiquing culture, I can. But if I also just want to turn my brain off and have the jokes appeal to my base sensibilities, I can do that too. This just doesn't have enough bite, I don't think. And I think in a post Jump Street world, the comedy sequel, a lot of comedy sequels have seemed bland in comparison.
That's fair. Again, I can understand where that point comes from, but that's a point that I blame completely on you.
Okay.
It's like when I hear people complain about superhero movies. Like, oh, I'm just so sick of superhero movies. They keep making them because you keep going to them.
Yeah.
If you're sick of them, then stop. It's your own damn fault. But regardless of that, I can see that it is a comedy sequel, but I think it does enough different from the first movie. And I don't know, Connor, watch the first movie, watch this again, and tell me if you think that.
I will. I will do that.
Okay. I feel like it does enough different that it's not a complete retread in the same way that Hangover 2 is, but it's definitely in the vein of something like that. It's definitely appealing to a lot of the same checklists.
It's about as much of a. It sounds like, from the way you've described it, Ian, it sounds like it's about as much of a retread as Dumb and Dumber 2 was. Where Dumb and Dumber 2, it's a road trip movie. There's a third party that's chasing them, and they're trying to cross country to go find a girl. Who the girl is in relation to their characters is very different. Who's chasing them is very different, and a lot of things that happen along the way are different. But you can definitely. So it's structurally the same, but the details are significantly different and change the thematic implications. Yeah, if you give a very just short plot synopsis, it could possibly sound like the exact same film depending on how you describe it. But I think that could be the case with a lot of movies.
But my issue though is, in the case of Dumb and Dumber 2, you are right. A lot of the details are different, but the character responses are the exact same from the first one. And part of that's the humor of, these characters just didn't learn in all these years. Ha 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 ha. I just see it as a retread because, and I don't know, what is it with all of these, like, comedy sequels have to end at some kind of convention? Like, this one has SantaCon. Dumb and Dumber 2
really?
ends at TED Talk, or whatever it is.
I didn't realize that. That's funny.
And then, like, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 doesn't have one because it's My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. But then Zoolander 2 ends at, like, some, like, big conference about a bunch of people. Like, I don't think... It's a weird thing that all of these belated comedy sequels just so happen to end at some kind of convention.
Born,
yeah, Jason Bourne ends. It does.
Yeah, I don't know. Conventions are the new wedding.
Yeah, I guess so. That must be the case.
Because, like, for a while, everything, like, does anyone here object to this union? I object! So, like, I guess just the new that. Again, I don't particularly care because I haven't gotten to see all those fucking movies. Because I'm a sane, rational person.
Yes, you are. My favorite comedy sequel, though, I'd probably say like, I think the best comedy sequel is 22 Jump Street. I don't think that's a controversial statement to make. It's a better movie than the first movie, and it's funnier and smarter, and it has the funniest joke I've ever seen in a movie theater. But my favorite, probably like one of my go-to favorite examples of a good comedy sequel that hits a lot of the same callback jokes is Wayne's World 2.
Oh, I love Wayne's World, too.
Oh, Wayne's World 2, like, there's, like, it ends with the wedding and all that stuff, but there's that scene with Charlton Heston, which is hilarious. And there's the Jurassic Park thing that comes out of nowhere, but it's really funny. I think, like, that's the kind of comedy sequel that I like, and I think that maybe Bad Santa 2 is going for that same sort of type of comedy sequel. I just don't think it's maybe achieving that.
Okay, and, like, it's hard to say without having watched the first one.
Yeah.
Because maybe you just won't like that one at all, either.
Maybe.
The thing. Maybe none of the humor there will work for you. Maybe you'll feel the same way about Tony Cox and Billy Bob Thornton.
Maybe, and if that is the case, then I will have to change my tune on what I see in this.
Yeah, because I don't feel that Tony Cox is turning in too significantly different a performance. Like, he's maybe mellowed a bit with age, but that's kind of natural. I feel that everyone's doing a lot of the same stuff, like, as far as, like, level of performance that they're giving. And I do think Billy Bob Thornton wanted to be here because, Bad Santa kind of reignited his career after a while. He was in
Bad Santa before or after Sling Blade?
It was way after. Okay. But, like, there was a real lull between those two.
Okay.
It really reignited his career in a lot of ways because after Bad Santa, he was in a lot of, like, very similar type of movies, like Bad News Bears remake and,
oh, yeah.
What's the one with the fucking Napoleon Dynamite kid that couldn't make a goddamn movie that anyone cared about after that?
I know he was at Mr. Woodcock.
Yeah, and that's a very similar thing. Whatever it is, it was like this, like, dating school or something for guys who couldn't figure themselves out. It's kind of like an anti-Hitch.
Okay.
But yeah, like the big line that Billy Bob Thornton had in that was, who here owns a self-help book? And, like, everyone raises their hands. He goes, throw it away. You can't help yourself because yourself sucks. So, and it's not a particularly good movie, but that's just, like, an example of, like, the types. Yeah, those were the types of movies that he was doing for a while after Bad Santa. It was all very in that same line. And then his career kind of died down again. And so now he's back to do Bad Santa 2. He's like, okay, if nothing else, he clearly wants the money.
And next year, I'm sure we can expect to see him win an Oscar.
Yeah, sure. That one's going to happen. Okay, well, we need just a couple more minutes. Rasco, concluding thoughts on Bad Santa 2.
Bad Santa 2 is, I would say, painfully average, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, and I'll defend mediocrity. I don't like this mentality, and this is something we've talked about. I don't like this mentality that if it's not great, then it's shit.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate that mentality. I hate it.
Yeah. I don't like that thought process. I will not say that this is a great film and should be, kept in the annals of cinema and yada yada yada. No, it's got some it's got some fun jokes. It's a neat little premise. I enjoyed it, and it's worth a laugh. And I don't think anyone's going to remember it 100 years from now, and that's okay.
There is something to be said about the disposable entertainment.
Yeah.
I think John Wick is a legitimately great film. But I could see, The Magnificent Seven. I was thoroughly entertained by that movie. It is not a remarkable film by any stretch of the remake, anyways, by any stretch of the imagination.
So, yeah, the remake. And then there's that new one.
Okay. Yeah. So the new one, it's disposable entertainment, but I was thoroughly entertained when I watched it.
Yeah, that's fair, and that's how I reacted to Dracula Untold, and everyone else said it's the worst movie ever. I'm like, what? What's so fucking bad about it?
Dracula Untold is hilarious. All right.
It's everyone's like, oh, it's so cliche. I'm like, so? What's the problem with cliches? It's a fucking Dracula movie. What did you expect? Art? Francis Ford Coppola tried that. It didn't work out very well. I don't know. Fuck. I enjoyed Dracula Untold more than I did Coppola's whole masturbating to his own artistic ability Dracula movie.
I never saw Bram Stoker's Dracula.
You never saw Bram Stoker's Dracula?
That's something that I always see new, re-releases on Blu-ray and DVD of, it's the 15th anniversary, it's the 25th anniversary. Buy this movie, buy this movie, buy this movie.
It's not worth your time.
Was it that popular, though?
Yeah, it was a pretty big one, but it's not worth your time.
All right.
I don't know. I'll take that back. From what I understand, people who haven't read Dracula quite enjoy it. But anyone who's read Dracula knows that the title is complete horseshit. So take that how you will.
I find it funny though. That was kind of so Francis Ford Coppola directed Bram Stoker's Dracula, but he also produced Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which was directed by Kenneth Branagh.
No, that was because Mary Shelley's Frankenstein would have been made without Bram Stoker's.
Yeah, I know that but he had done them both kind of at the same time. But the thing is, I'm surprised that Mary Shelley's Frankenstein isn't the one that's getting all the re-releases. I've never seen that in a Best Buy. I've never seen that
And it's funny because I like that movie quite a bit more than Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula. Anyway, this isn't a review of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein or Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, but if you want to see Geeky Gentleman reviews of those, hey, check it out. There are episodes on each film. Go search that shit. Geeky Gentleman Dracula 1990, Geeky Gentleman Mary Shelley's Frankenstein 1994.
What is it? Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula?
No, I think it's just Bram Stoker's Dracula.
No, I mean, but the way we talk about it though, because it's
Coppola's because it's not Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
Fucking goddamn it, Connor. We're not
having
this discussion.
Francis Ford.
This is a discussion about Bad Santa, not a bad movie.
Only a terrible one.
Yeah. So, I guess my only remaining question, and I think I know the answer, did I turn you at all on it, in any way, shape, or form?
No, not necessarily my opinion or really attitude, but you have such an enthusiasm and reverence for this material, and it's hard not to be, charmed and, see things your way. But that doesn't change the fact that I didn't like this movie, at all. No,
that's fair. That's fair. But again, I think your problems with it are more on your personal taste and your life situation of being a crazy person who goes to every single movie than it is on what the movie is trying to be. And I don't think it's okay to judge something based on what it's not trying to do.
Well, the thing is, I'm not sitting on my pedestal saying, come to me the way I want you to be. I'm going out, and I gave this movie a fair shake, and I didn't find it funny. I didn't think it was remotely clever or witty. I think there was a couple neat exchanges here. I think there was a couple chuckle moments here. I mean, okay, I'll say this much. Bad Santa 2 is not Office Christmas Party. I at least cracked a smile during this movie. I at least chuckled during this movie.
And it's weird because Office Christmas Party seems to be like the big holiday movie this year.
Well, that's because a bunch of suits decided to give that one the marketing budget, and yeah.
Yeah, no one fucking knew this. Like, I liked the first movie, and the only reason I found out Bad Santa 2 was a thing was because of a trailer on YouTube. They did not market this for shit.
And it's not doing well at the box office either.
Well, I'm not surprised.
No, who
I
would
didn't
have predicted
think it would.
that?
I didn't think it would. The first movie didn't do very well at the box office. It didn't do well until it got the unrated cut on DVD.
Do you think that if Bad Santa 2 came out, when did the first one come out? Like 2004?
Yeah, somewhere around that, early 2000s.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, 2003. My brother's signaling to me. But let's say Bad Santa 2 had come out in 2005. Do you think it would have done better at the box office because it did have that cult following and it was more of an instant, like, striking the iron while it's still hot sort of thing?
Yeah, possibly, but I don't know if they would have been able to get everyone back to do it.
That's
because, like, I think part of the reason that they're able to do this is the love that is the following that this movie does have now, that it's built up over time.
And I don't know, though. It's like, because I remember, like, all throughout my youth and growing up, there was a moment of, oh my gosh, we need a Bad Santa sequel. We really, like, a lot of people were enthusiastic about it. Post, at least in my elementary school and middle school, people were enthusiastic about the prospects. And I remember stumbling across, like articles back in the day on the internet, like, ooh, we need a sequel to Bad Santa. So
Bad Santa Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
We need
Bad Easter Bunny, and then Bad Leprechaun.
Bad Cupid.
Bad Turkey.
Yeah, totally. Bad Jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
It's just a pumpkin.
Yeah.
For like an hour and a half. It's not even it's not even got a face carved into it. That's why it's a bad Jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go.
There's your high concept.
Yeah. It's a
Jesus Christ, that is like the worst definition ever.
Oh my god. Oh, dude. Well, I got a bad pumpkin or bad jack-o'-lantern. It is just a pumpkin that hurls itself at people. Guys, this is a low-budget movie in the making. This is great.
Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and move on to ratings. Rasco, you go first.
I already kind of rated it earlier, but I did it on the wrong rating system. I did it on a 10 scale, so I'm going to rate it now a 2.5. Shoes that are used in some sexual manner. I'm not quite sure how exactly, but...
I love that they left that ambiguous. That's really funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. So 2.5 out of 5 shoes that we don't know what the fuck's happening with.
You know, they might have left it ambiguous, or we might see what the fuck's happening with those shoes in the unrated version. Okay, I will give this movie... I think 3.5 is fair. 3.5 out of 5... fuck me Santas. Fuck me Santa, fuck me Santa, fuck me Santa, fuck me Santa.
But that was
I
4.
wonder if that's like based on a real event that happened to somebody.
Maybe. But
That
Ian,
sounds like something that could happen to
but
somebody.
Ian, that was 4. You said 3.5.
Well, fuck me is...
Yes.
Okay, Cotter, how about you?
I guess I'll go crude since this is Bad Santa. I'll give this movie 1.5 out of 5 Christina Hendricks racks. That's
Oh!
Oh, nice. Okay. I asked this knowing he doesn't have an answer. Rascal, what are we talking about next week? We need a discussion topic.
Christmassy?
Yep, it's gotta be, or not necessarily Christmassy. It can be holiday.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to just be Christmas.
Oh, can we talk about what is the worst holiday?
That will be an interesting discussion.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, I'm gonna have to, like, figure out what Kwanzaa is. I think there's, like, a robot involved or something. I don't know.
No, that's the Scientology holiday, right?
No, there's, like, Kwanzaa bot, right? That's a thing. That's a thing. He raps and hangs out with zombie rabbi and robot Santa. That's a thing. All right, Futurama reference, ding ding. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
I'm the Squampus.
And I am.
I really don't like that you do that. That's so fucking annoying.
I just am.
And we're your geeky gentlemen, and we will be discussing things. Hey, people in the comments, leave suggestions for what Connor should sign off as.
Merry Christmas, boys and girls.